Hi foodies, this is Suzie the Foodie, and we are here with Gordie Johnson from Big Sugar.
Hi.
Hey! So I hear that Big Sugar, the name of it, is actually based on the fact that you are a big foodie.
That's in no plausible way true.
So they lied to me. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
No, those things happened separate from each other. It is true. I do all the cooking in my house and in the band too. So.
Oh, really? What would you say your sort of food style is? Do you love everything? Are you very particular about food?
Well, I can cook a wide variety of stuff, but I was kind of raised cooking Italian food. It's sort of my staple thing that I go to.
Right.
That's like five nights of the week.
Wow.
Is Italian food. Like I make sauce every week. It's that kind of Italian food where it's just it's the weekly sauce day,
Right.
around the house.
Do you make your own pasta too, or are you a dry pasta guy?
I like the dry pasta now because this is heresy because my father makes fresh pasta. He has a restaurant and makes his own. The family feud will begin over the firmness of the pasta.
Yes.
How serious we are about it.
So we've got a couple of questions from some of my readers. Carrie Lou wanted to know most memorable meal on the road with the band was, since you travel so much, and I know you're going on tour for your new CD, Yard Style. Do you have a favorite food memory from being on tour?
That's tough because the show for us, the show is almost like the second most important thing that happens all day. The critical, really, when the tour bus rolls in and they turn us loose for an hour or two, we go in search of something good to eat. It's like the only comfort in your day.
Right.
So you better make it a good one, whether it's breakfast or lunch or whatever meal it is.
Sure.
We're always on our we have what we call restaurant radar, where you can just walk past a place and go, all right, that's the one. You don't even have to look at the menu first. I can just tell which is the place we're going to. Especially about Canada, that I've had as good of food in Canada and as huge a variety as any foreign countries I've been to. The world of food has it's kind of shrunk in a way, where you can get really rare stuff at a grocery store. Where I live in Texas, you can get that's the ground zero for Whole Foods and Central Market and places like that. So,
right.
My sister was living in France and came to visit in Texas. He was like, "Oh wow, I don't know what we're going to do about cheese because obviously you people don't have any good cheese." I was like, "Well, exactly what cheese were you looking for? Because there it is, right there. We're at Whole Foods. There it is, right there, and on the glass." So they were, her and her husband were quite taken aback. I think they had a different idea about North American food culture. Like, oh no, we kind of have one now.
Wow, that's so exciting. So you're living in Texas, but you're from Canada, correct? So have you been taken over by barbecue there? Like, is it as wild as I see on TV?
Oh yeah, it's crazy good. I think for all the places I've traveled, Texas is probably my favorite food destination.
Really?
Just for and there's a pretty wide variety of stuff too, because you have different regional cuisines of Mexico that end up in Texas just because you have so many Mexican people there, and there's so much culture that's already there. You have Tex-Mex, which is sort of like our own region of version of Mexican food. And then you have all the Louisiana influence because it's a border state, and the Gulf has such great seafood, and we raise cattle, so of course the beef's amazing, and the barbecue is, I think that if that could be my death row meal. I hope it doesn't come to that, but if I had to pick something.
Wow. Oh, you're making me want to go to Texas now. It sounds so delicious. It sounds so good. I've been listening to your album, The Acoustic Sounds, Yard Style, and I mean, there's such amazing reggae influences here. I would say more so than the rock, because you're pretty much unplugged. Is that correct?
It's entirely unplugged too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you're really into Jamaican food.
I can cook Jamaican food, actually. In Jamaica, I spent most of my time just hunting down food and different versions of, how to make a escovitch snapper and, rice, different people's version of rice and peas. I can make a really good kingfish stew. My interest in that began when I was living in Toronto, because the neighborhood I lived in and was just off of Kensington Market. And then I lived up at Oakwood and Eglinton, which is another West Indian neighborhood. I would always talk to old ladies in the market. You'd find ladies with their big grocery basket, and that looked like a piece of driftwood. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do with that, ma'am? And she would tell me it's cassava, and this is what you're gonna do with it, and this is how you prepare it. And if you just ask these people, they'd stand there on the sidewalk and tell you, like, from start to finish, how to prepare the thing. Yeah. So I would make a point of never missing an opportunity to ask a lady with the grocery basket.
You might have talked to my mom. I called her the Queen of Kensington. She I miss having doubles. I had those a lot last year when I was in Toronto.
I know. Yeah, if I want to stay married, that's my wife. Is like, when you're in Toronto, the last thing you do before you go to the airport is get doubles from Allie's Roadie Shop on Queen Street.
It's so true. I think I had one every day for 3 months. It was ridiculous. Are you a big fan of spice? One nice thing about cooking yourself, like, I'm pretty sensitive to spice, but I love the flavors of Jamaica.
It was pretty remarkable when I was in Jamaica. I had some, I would have people would just prepare food for you. I met a guy. He was standing up on the road in the grill, not on the beach, but up on the road with the traffic and the exhaust, and it was kind of, the sun's beating down, there's no shade. And this guy came out of the bushes wearing nothing but a Speedo.
Okay.
And he said, "Give me $10, man. I'll cook a nice meal for you." And I'm like, "You're gonna? Sorry, what? Where? If I give you $10, no, wait a sec. If I give you $10, you're standing on the edge of the ditch on the road in a Speedo. This is too good. How can I not give this guy? I got to find out what happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
if he
true.
takes the $10 and sprints away, well, okay, he probably needs it, but, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Well, I said, sure, man, okay. $7. Where are you even going to put the $10? Like,
yeah,
you're wearing a Speedo. I don't know. He said, yeah, come back in a little while and I'll have something here for you. Like, you're kidding me. What? Come back where? This isn't even a place. I had no anticipation of ever seeing the $10 of the food, but I came back about a half hour later, and he had an old iron pot. He had gathered some wood and made a fire. There was nothing there when I had been there a half hour earlier. It would have taken me an hour to gather enough rocks to build a little fire pit, wood, kindling, get the fire going. He had taken the water out of a coconut.
Wow.
I guess I don't know where he got rice from, but he had gone down to the ocean and caught a fish and was making this meal in one pot, where he just reached up in a tree and pulled a leaf out and rubbed it between his fingers and made me smell it, and it was pimento leaf, or allspice, what we call allspice.
Wow.
And just everything he put in there, it was just stuff he was grabbing from around him. So oregano was just growing in the ditch along the road, and he just, same thing, grabbed it and rubbed it between his hands, and it came up this smoky, powdery, wonderful oregano that went into this food. Like, that's magic what just happened. It probably cost him about $1.50 to make the meal. You know what? No, it was the best $10 ever.
Oh, I think that's one of the most memorable meals ever. That is a great story. I love that. I have another question from my friend Dawn. She wanted to know if there were any food allergies in the band. Do you guys have to deal with anything like that, or is it you guys are free to eat anything?
There aren't any food allergies, but it's a pretty diverse group of people. The Rastafarians in the group won't eat pork.
Right.
we have had at various times guys, flirting with vegetarianism. I was a vegetarian for 10 years, actually. It's a long time ago. That's not me now. We can all hang with different food philosophies, preferences for food, but it certainly hasn't prevented us from enjoying great food together.
And she also wanted to know, what is your favorite food before and after a concert?
I have adhered to the practice of really not eating much before a show. I would rather go on stage a little hungry than full and satisfied. It doesn't make for a good show. Everybody in the group is sort of the same. Our staple foods before show are like hummus and pita bread. If you can get some good, that really thin, papery Arabic pita bread and hummus, extra virgin olive oil is also, that's probably the thing promoters look at with curiosity on our dressing room rider. Most bands want, a couple cases of beer or whatever. Yeah. We've got a bottle of extra virgin olive oil is one thing. What? Huh? What are you doing with how is that? Equal rock and roll party. Well, but that's just, it's just one of our staple foods where as long as we have some of that around, everybody's, a little bit of fresh fruit, some hummus and pita bread, that gets us to the stage. After show, it's on. Whatever we can find, we will feast if it's available.
Do you have time to tell me how'd you came up with the name Big Sugar then? I'm so curious.
My time in Toronto, like I said, living in a West Indian community and playing with a lot of the guys in that community and just having awareness of West Indian culture. A lot of the evils of the industrial age are brought about by, Europeans' quest for sugar, slavery, they crank up the temperature on slavery to get guys to come and work and harvesting sugar in the West Indies, right, when they were colonized. So the sugar industry is referred to as Big Sugar, and we're trying to take a negative connotation and make some positive music out of it. So it's getting all, it's all philosophical and political and nothing to do with baked goods or candy. nothing to do with food.
Oh, well, I find that absolutely fascinating, actually, because at first I thought Big Sugar, do you guys just like sugar out after, concerts or something? But having that political idea behind it is actually quite awesome.
And that's also kind of my, it's sort of my pet name for everybody when if I'm talking to almost anybody, I'm like, yeah, what's going on, sugar? How you doing, sugar?
That's great.
That's been pointed out to me. I didn't realize I was doing that, but
it's been lovely talking to you. We have absolutely adored the CD. We've been listening to it in our car constantly. It's the perfect summer music and for going out and having fun. I know you're traveling across Canada. I was wondering if you guys were unplugging, or are you going to be rocking the stage, or what's up with that?
A lot of our summer shows this year are fully rocking. We've been to Europe twice this year, so our electric stuff is just coming out in Europe. And then we come back to Canada. Summer festival time is electric. This winter we will go out in a bus, all of us, and do a tour of theaters across Canada, playing strictly acoustic. And this is really, really about as acoustic a show as you're going to see. Most of the guys in the group will play. I mean, Big Sugar also blossoms from a 5-person band to a 12-person band for this.
I know.
So we just bring all of our friends and yardies with us. And most of the guys are playing hand drums and singing. It's a lot of it's even unaccompanied except for drumming.
Oh my God, that'd be such a fascinating show. I wish you were coming to the East Coast.
Well, I'm starting to see dates come in on the calendar, so I imagine you will see us out there this year. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Good luck with the tour, and it's been awesome talking to you about food. I've really enjoyed it.
All right, well, me too.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Gordie Johnson of Big Sugar, for agreeing to do this interview with me. If you'd like to learn more, come to my blog at SuzieTheFoodie.com. We'll be sharing some recipes of Gordie's, and just come check it out for concert information.